Good morning, my dear children. How are you all? Okay, let us move to the class today. Good. In this class, we are going to continue with the lesson acids, bases, and salts. Okay. See here, how strong are acid or base? What we are going to discuss? How strong are acid or base? In that, we are going to discuss about strong acid, weak acid, strong base and weak base. Okay. First we are going to discuss about what is strong acid. These are acid that ionize completely in water. The acid which is completely soluble in water, that we call it as a strong acid. What is strong acid? The acid that ionize or soluble completely in water, that we call it as a strong acid. You understand what is strong acid? The example of strong acid is HCl, hydrochloric acid. Okay students. Next we are going to see about what is weak acid. These are acid that ionize partially in water. The acid which is insoluble in water, that we call it as a weak acid. The acid that ionize partially, only insoluble. It won't be soluble. It will be insoluble in water. That we call it as a weak acid. The examples of weak acid is acetic acid. The formula is CH3COOH. You understand? Next, strong base. These are all base which ionize completely in water. The base which is completely soluble in water, that we call it as a strong base. Do you understand? The example of strong base is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Do you understand? Okay. Next, weak base. These are the base that ionize partially in water. If the base will be insoluble in water, that we call it as a weak base. The examples of weak base is calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide. Do you understand what is strong acid, weak acid, strong base and weak base? Good. Next we are going to discuss about what is pH scale. What we are going to see about what is pH scale. A pH scale means a scale for measuring hydrogen ion concentration. pH scale is a scale that used to measure what? Concentration of hydrogen ion. That we call it as a, that for that purpose we are using this pH scale. Do you understand? The P in pH. See here, the P in pH stands for potence. Repeat after me. Potence. In German, the potence meaning is power. What is the meaning of potence? Is power. Do you understand, students? Okay. This pH scale is a set of numbers from 0 to 14. In that pH scale, there will be 0 to 14 numbers. Okay. Why we are using this pH scale? It is used to say whether the given solution is acid, bases or neutral. For that purpose, we are using this pH scale. Do you understand, students? See, acid have pH less than 7. Acid have pH less than 7. That we call it as an acid. If any solution is less than 7, you can confirm that some acid present in that. Do you understand? Next, base have pH greater than 7. If it is greater than 7, you can confirm some bases present in that. Do you understand? Next, neutral solution means it won't be acid or base. Okay, it is equal to 7. It is not greater than 7 or less than 7. It will be equal to 7. In this way, we can find out whether the given solution is acid, bases or it is a neutral solution by using this pH scale. Do you understand, students? Next, we are going to see about importance of pH in everyday life. We are going to see about importance of pH in everyday life. Or plants and animals have pH sensitive. Or plants and animals have pH sensitive. They are putting a question here. For that they are given an explanation. Our body works within the pH range of 7.0 to 7.8. Our body works within a pH range of 7.0 to 7.8. Living organism can survive in a narrow range of pH. Where they will survive? They will survive in a narrow range of pH. Next, when the pH of rainwater is less than 5.6, when the pH of rainwater is less than 5.6, then that rain is called as an acid rain. When the pH of rainwater is less than 5.6, that rain we call it as an acid rain. Do you understand what is acid rain? When this acid rain flows into river, what happens? When this acid rain combines or flows into the river, it lowers the pH of river water. It will lowers the pH of river water. Why? Because the acid rain is joining with river water. The survival of aquatic life in such rivers becomes so difficult. In river water, many fishes will be surviving. While this acid rain combined with river water, the survival of aquatic life is so difficult. Do you understand, students? Next, we are going to see about what is the pH of the soil in your backyard. What is your pH of the soil in your backyard? Do you understand? Plants require a specific pH for their healthy growth. Plants require a particular pH for their healthy growth. How to find out the pH? To find out the pH required for healthy growth of plant, you can collect the soil from various places. To find out the pH of the soil, what we can do? We can collect from different soils. Collect mud from different soils and we can check the pH. If we calculate the average of various soil, you can easily get the pH of the soil. Do you understand, students? This is the pH of the soil in your backyard. In this way, you can find the pH of the soil. Do you understand, students? Next, pH in our digestive system. pH in our digestive system. Stomach produce hydrochloric acid. It is very interesting, no? Stomach produce what acid? Hydrochloric acid. And this hydrochloric acid helps in digestion of food. Why the hydrochloric acid are present in our stomach? It helps to digestion. You understand? For that purpose, in our stomach, hydrochloric acid are present. It is very interesting facts, no? During indigestion, if there is no digestion, during indigestion, stomach produce too much of acid. If the food is not digested properly, our stomach produce too much of acid. What happens? For that case, what happens? We can get very painful and irritation. Our stomach get very painful and irritation. For that, if we use antacid, antacid means it is a medicine, okay? If we use this antacid medicine, it will reduce the pain and irritation of the stomach. Do you understand? What medicine you will take while very irritation and pain? You should take a antacid medicine. It will reduce the pain and irritation. Do you understand, students? Next, we are going to see about pH as the cause of tooth decay. pH as the cause of tooth decay. Tooth decay starts when the pH of the mouth is lower than 5.5. Tooth decay will start when the the pH of the mouth is lower than 5.5. If the pH of the mouth is less than 5.5, then only the tooth decay starts. Tooth enamel. If you go to dental doctor will apply tooth enamel. Why? Because this tooth enamel made up of calcium phosphate. Calcium phosphate. For the only they are applying tooth enamel. You understand? It is made up of calcium phosphate, and this calcium phosphate is the hardest substance. If we apply this calcium phosphate in the tooth decay, it won't dissolve in water or food. For that purpose, the dental doctor applies this calcium phosphate. You understand? Next, the best way to prevent the tooth decay is to clean the mouth after eating. After eating, what we should do? We should clean the mouth and using toothpaste. Clean the mouth by using toothpaste. The toothpaste are basic in nature. It is not an acid. It is basic in nature. How we can prevent the tooth decay? To clean the mouth after eating. After eating, we can clean the mouth by using toothpaste. Okay? In this way we can prevent from this tooth decay. You understand, students? Next we are going to see self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. Self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. Have you ever been stung by a honeybee? Suppose a honeybee comes and sits on us. What happens? Bee sting leaves an methanoic acid. The bee will leave an methanoic acid on us, and which causes pain and irritation. Which causes what? Very pain and irritation, because the bee has a methanoic acid. If the methanoic acid will come and sits on that, what happens? It causes pain and irritation. The pain will be so much and it will be irritated. Okay. If we apply baking soda on that, the pain will be reduced. Okay, you understand? If bee comes and sits on us, it will be so painful and irritation. If you can apply baking soda, after a few minutes, the pain and irritation will be reduced. Do you understand, students? Next, family of salt. We are going to see family of salt. Activity 2.13. Salt having the same positive or negative radicals. Salt having how many radicals? 2 radicals, that is positive and negative radicals, are said to belong to family. The salt which has both positive and negative radical, we can say it is belong to the salt family, that is family of salt. See here, for example, sodium chloride and sodium sulfide. See here also sodium, here also sodium. I am saying sodium chloride. Here sodium sulfide. Belongs to what family? Belongs to sodium family. Because in this two, the sodium is a common. So this sodium chloride and sodium sulfate belongs to sodium salt, family of sodium salt. And see, similarly, sodium chloride and potassium chloride belongs to what family? Chlorine family. Why I am saying it belongs to chlorine family? Because here also Cl, here also Cl. Only sodium chloride and potassium chloride. So it's belong to chlorine family or chlorine salt. You understand, students, the concept of family of salt? Next we are going to see about pH of salt. How we can check the pH of salt. Okay? Collect the samples of salt. First, what we should do? We should check the pH means what we should do? We should collect the samples of salt. For example, we can take sodium chloride or potassium nitrate, etc. Many salts we can take as a sample to find the pH value. Okay, students? Next, second step. Check the solubility in water. By using this salt, we can check the solubility. By how? By using this distilled water, we can check the solubility in water. Do you understand, students? First, what we should do to find out the pH of salt? First, we should collect the samples of salt. For example, sodium chloride, potassium nitrate, etc. we can collect. And second, check their solubility. What solubility? This salt solubility we can check by using distilled water. By using distilled water, we can check the solubility of water. You understand, students? Next, check the solution on litmus paper. By using litmus paper, you can check the solution is whether the solution is acid or base or neutral. We can easily find out. Next, and find the pH value by using pH paper. What I am going to say? We are going to find out the pH of salt. For that, by using this pH paper, we can easily find out the pH value of each salt. Okay, students? Next, the salt of strong acid and strong base. The salt, if the salt of strong acid and strong base means the value will be neutral and it is equal to 7. Okay? Next, salt of strong acid and weak base. If the salt is strong acid and weak base means that we call it as an acidic value or acidic salt. That value is less than 7. You understand, students? By these two important methods, we can easily find out whether the salt is neutral or acid or base. Simultaneously, if the value is greater than 7, you can easily confirm that the given salt is basic in nature. You understand, students? Next, we are going to discuss about chemicals from common salt. How the common salt is prepared. Okay? The salt formed by the combination of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. By combining this hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, we can easily prepare this sodium chloride salt. Sodium chloride is what? It is a normal salt. You understand, so how we can prepare this sodium chloride or normal salt? By combining hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. By combining these two, we can easily get this sodium chloride or common salt. You understand, students? Next, seawater contains many salt. This you already know. Seawater has many different salt dissolved in it. So, sodium chloride is separated from these salt. In a seawater, many salts are present. From that, the sodium chloride should be separated from that many salt. Next, large crystals are often brown. Large crystals are often brown due to impurities. That is called as a rock salt. What is rock salt? In our house, we are using two kinds of salt. One is very small salt, that is we call it as a common salt, or else big size, you see that big size crystals, that we call it as a rock salt. You understand, students? What is rock salt? What is common salt? How the common salt is prepared? Okay, students. Next, we are going to see common salt, a raw material for chemicals. They are saying the common salt is obtained from raw materials for chemicals. See, the common salt thus obtained in an important raw materials. How the common salt are obtained? From an important raw materials such as sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, etc. From these three salts, this common salt are also obtained. Do you understand, students? The common salt thus obtained is an important raw materials from various materials of daily use such as sodium hydroxide, baking soda and washing soda. From this, the common salt is obtained from raw materials. Do you understand, students? Next, we are going to discuss what is sodium hydroxide and how the sodium hydroxide are prepared. Okay? How the sodium hydroxide are prepared? When electricity passes through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. In a sodium chloride, the electricity is passed. Okay? and it decomposes and forms sodium hydroxide. In this process, the sodium hydroxide are prepared. What they are doing? They are passing an electricity to the solution of sodium chloride. To a sodium chloride, they are passing an electricity. After they are given electricity, it decomposes. What decomposes? Sodium chloride decompose and form sodium hydroxide. You understand, children, how the sodium hydroxide are formed? See here, they are given in formula. Sodium chloride with water gives sodium hydroxide plus chlorine plus hydrogen gas. What I say? This, whenever the sodium chloride, after passing electricity, it gives sodium hydroxide. But see here, sodium hydroxide, but chlorine and water, it is acquired in products. For that, what we should do? This chlorine and hydrogen gas should be connected to, see here, this chlorine gas is given to anode. Anode means what? Negative charge. Anode means negative charge. The symbol is minus, okay? The chlorine gas is given to anode and the hydrogen gas is given to the cathode. Cathode means positive charge. The symbol is plus. Okay. Next, the sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode. After giving chlorine gas to anode and hydrogen gas to cathode, the sodium hydroxide solution is formed near where? It is in positive, that is cathode. You understand, children? Why we are giving connection to chlorine gas and hydrogen gas? Because I have said here, if I heat the sodium chloride, it will give sodium hydroxide. But here it produces sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen gas. For that purpose, we are giving connection to anode and cathode. Do you understand, children? Why I have given? Thank you. See, next we are going to discuss about what is bleaching powder. See what is bleaching powder and how we can prepare bleaching powder. By using calcium hydroxide. By using calcium hydroxide plus chlorine. If we combine this calcium hydroxide and chlorine, we can get this bleaching powder plus water. Do you understand, children, how the bleaching powder are prepared? By combining calcium hydroxide and chlorine, it gives a bleaching powder. In this way, they are preparing the bleaching powder. Do you understand, children, how they are preparing the bleaching powder? Next, we are going to see about the uses of bleaching powder. Uses of bleaching powder. Bleaching cotton and linen in the textile industries. The bleaching powder is used for bleaching cotton and linen in the textile industries. For this purpose, the bleaching powder is used. This is first case. Second, bleaching powder is used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. In many chemical industries, this bleaching powder is used as an oxidizing agent. Next, third is for disinfecting drinking water to make it free from germs. This bleaching powder is used to make free from germs. For that purpose, they are using bleaching powder in this water. Do you understand, students? These are all the uses of bleaching powder. Next, we are going to discuss what is baking soda, how the baking soda are prepared. Okay. Baking soda. The soda commonly used in kitchen for making crispy chips. This baking soda is used in the kitchen for making crispy chips or pakodas. For that purpose, this baking soda are used. You understand why the baking soda are used? To make a crispy chips or a crispy pakodas. For that purpose, this baking soda are used. The chemical name of the compound. The chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. The chemical name of the compound baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay. They will ask, what is the chemical name for baking soda? You should write sodium hydrogen carbonate. Do you understand? Next, how the baking soda are prepared. Okay. They are taking sodium chloride. NaCl is a sodium chloride. They combined with water, combined with carbon dioxide gas, combined with ammonia. Okay. These four combination gives ammonium chloride plus this sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda. In this way, the baking soda are prepared. You understand, students? They are taking sodium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide plus ammonium. Ammonia gives ammonium chloride plus baking soda, or the chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate. In this way, the baking soda are prepared. Do you understand, students, how the baking soda are prepared? Next, we are going to see about uses of sodium hydrogen carbonate or uses of baking soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is also an ingredient in antacid. In previous one we have discussed what is antacid. Antacid is a medicine. This sodium hydrogen carbonate is used as an ingredient. In antacid medicine. Okay. This is the first use. Second, it is also used in soda acid fire extinguisher. In fire extinguisher, this baking soda are used. Do you understand the uses of baking soda or sodium hydrocarbonate? Okay. Next, we are going to see about what is washing soda and how the washing soda are prepared. The chemical name of washing soda is sodium carbonate. The chemical name of washing soda is what? Sodium carbonate. See, they are taking baking soda. How we can prepare this washing soda? They are taking baking soda and they are giving heat energy to this baking soda. After heating, it turns into washing soda. In this way, the washing soda are prepared. They are taking baking soda and giving heat energy to this baking soda. After heat energy, it converts into washing soda. In this way, the washing soda are prepared. Do you understand, children, how the washing soda are prepared? See, this washing soda combined with 10H2O, that is water molecules, gives washing soda plus 10 water molecules. Do you understand? This is the formula for washing soda. If a washing soda combined with 10 water molecules, it gives washing soda plus 10 water molecules. Do you understand? Next, we are going to see about the uses of washing soda. Okay, what we are going to see? Uses of washing soda. Washing soda is used in glass, soap and paper industries. This washing soda is used in glass, soap and paper industries. And this washing soda or sodium carbonate, both are same. Sodium carbonate can be used as a cleaning agent. It is used as a cleaning agent for domestic purpose. This washing soda is used as a cleaning agent for domestic purpose. Next, third, it is used. What is used? This washing soda is used to remove the permanent hardness of water. It is used to remove the permanent hardness of the water. For that purpose, this washing soda are used. Last, it is used in the manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax. Okay, it is used in the manufacture to manufacture some sodium compounds such as borax. This washing soda are used. These are all the uses of washing soda. Do you understand, children? Next, we are going to see that are the crystals of salt really dry? They are putting a question that are the crystals of salt are really dry? For that, they are performing an activity. Okay, consider it is a burner. And they are taking a test tube and adding little amount of copper sulfate crystals in that test tube. The copper sulfate crystals are in blue color. It is in sky blue color. After adding the copper sulfate crystals, they are heating the copper sulfate crystals. After heating, the blue color copper sulfate crystals will changes into what? White color salt. Okay? See here. When we heat the crystals, when we heat the copper sulfate crystal, the water is removed. In that copper sulfate crystals, the water will be there. After heating, the water is removed and changes into white color. You understand? Next, in that white color salt, if we add some amount of water, what happens if we add some amount of water? Again, the blue color copper sulfate will be retained. Do you understand? After heating the copper sulfate, it changes into white color salt. In that white color salt, if we add little amount of water in it, again it will change into blue color of copper sulfate solution. Do you understand, children? The formula for copper sulfate is CuSO4.5H2O. CuSO4.5H2O. This is the formula for copper sulfate. Do you understand? Next, we are going to see about plaster of Paris. On heating gypsum. Repeat after me. Gypsum. What is the meaning of gypsum? A soft white rock like chalk. The meaning of gypsum is a soft white rock like a chalk. This is the meaning of gypsum. At 373 Kelvin, it loses water molecules and becomes calcium sulfate hemihydrate. This is called as a plaster of Paris. What is plaster of Paris? On heating gypsum at 373 Kelvin, it loses its water molecules and becomes calcium sulfate hemihydrate. The formula for calcium sulfate hemihydrate is CaSO4.5H2O. This is called as a plaster of Paris. This is the formula for plaster of Paris. Do you understand what is the plaster of Paris? Next, this plaster of Paris is used as a plaster. This plaster of Paris is used as a plaster for supporting fractured bone. For supporting fractured bone in the right position, this plaster of Paris are used. Do you understand why the plaster of Paris are used? Next, see. Plaster of Paris is combined with 1/2 H2O gives gypsum. In this way, we can prepare gypsum. How we can prepare gypsum? We can combine plaster of Paris with 1/2 H2O gives this gypsum product. You understand? In this way, we can prepare gypsum. Do you understand, students? Next, I am going to give instruction regarding classwork writing. Write the short answer in your classwork. Refer the PDF which is attached with this video. Thank you, students.